Hello, Night Spy. Welcome back to another video. And the Super Bowl is over. Super Bowl 60. It's in the books. The draft order is now set. The Seahawks have won the Super Bowl. The offseason's here officially, and you know what that means. We got to get the Eagles back in that bowl next year. And what better way to start than with a mock draft? So we're going to do a 3-rounder right here. We're going to do a couple of them. We do have some developments since the last time I did this, so we're going to get into all of that in 1 second. Let's do this because a lot has happened. I'm trying to keep you guys up to date with draft content, all this type of stuff, free agency, all that. So make sure you hit the like button, the sub button, the post notifications for more content. Let's get into this. All right, so since the last time I made this video, or this type of video, we've had three big things. I forgot to pull up the tweet for the one, but the first thing is that Jeff Stoutland has left the Eagles. It looks like with the staff that the Eagles are bringing in, they're changing their run schemes, their designs, all that. It's going to be different. And that clashed with what Stoutland wanted, and Stoutland was demoted, shadow demoted, stepped down, something like that last year. We don't really 100% know. I think he said he didn't really feel like he had the run game coordinator position and stepped away from it. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on all that. That's not this channel. This channel is what happens on the field. So I don't know. He's gone. That's a big blow for the offensive line. We have two other problems. Number one, Landon Dickerson's future in the NFL is uncertain at the moment, per Mike Garafolo. I mean, this is brutal. Landon Dickerson has been an elite guard in the NFL since he came in 2021. I mean, there's no other way to put it, really. I mean, the dude's been one of the 10, the 5 best guards, you know, in the NFL, holding down that left side. He's just been a spectacular player. So losing him potentially to retirement is what we're looking at here. We're not going to know probably for another couple of weeks 100% what's going to happen, but there's a chance Dickerson hangs it up. He is somebody that has had major knee injuries in his career. I think he blew out both ACLs at Alabama, which dropped him in the draft. I thought he was a first-round talent in the draft without the injuries back in 2021. That drops him. He had the meniscus injury last year. Apparently 2024 was really brutal on his body. I mean, you could see it at the end of the season. Him and Jurgens were out there dying in the NFC Championship game and some of those playoff games. I wouldn't be mad if he retired. I would 100% understand it, but that's going to impact this draft probably. It's going to impact the free agency, and we're going to have to address it here in this video with some of these mocks we do. So there's also this. There's some rumblings that Lane Johnson and Landon Dickerson are both considering retirement in the offseason per, who the hell's this? Jeremy Fowler, one of the ESPN reporters. Again, it's brutal. I mean, we've been trying in some of these videos, and, you know, the Eagles are going to have to start looking into that Lane Johnson replacement. Could this be the offseason he hangs it up? We'll see. But losing both of them would be absolutely brutal. So, you know, I feel like my response was pretty justified right there because, man, that would be brutal. So that is going to impact the mock draft I do in this video. And we're going to do a couple of them, like I said. That has an impact on this. You have to draft for future need. And, you know, this could turn into a current need if Dickerson hangs it up. You know, you don't really have anyone to play guard right now on the team. Obviously, there's free agency. It's a decent interior free agency. Tackle, it's pretty bad. So I'm not leaving any of these drafts without a lineman. I'm just going to put that out there right now. These aren't going to be like your sexy picks. Like, I'm not going to do the Kenyon Sadiq thing. Colton Hood is somebody that I really like. Where is he on here? Okay, so it looks like he's going earlier now than before, unless I'm blind. Maybe I'm blind. Where the hell is he? Where is Colton Hood at? Okay, so PFF has him lower. I've been watching his draft stock. I've been watching other people's videos and stuff. Colton Hood is starting to rise up to, like, the teens. I think Avion Terrell is someone that's still going to be there, but, we're not going to make the sexy, fun picks, right? Like, I'm not going to take a receiver here. I'm not going to take Kenny and Sadiq in any of these. I've had this discussion a million times in a million videos on here for a million minutes. My thoughts on Sadiq and all the tight ends. We'll get to that a little bit more later. I'm not going to do that in any of these. We're going to shake it up a little bit. This is somebody that has started to rise a little bit lately, and he's somebody that I personally really like. I went and watched his tape before I made this video, and whew, I really enjoyed what I saw. I feel like this is somebody whose stock is going to start rising, and that's Monroe Freeling, the tackle out of Georgia. Now, I think he did primarily play left tackle at Georgia. I don't know if he has any snaps at right tackle. I mean, that doesn't really matter. We see this all the time. Guys, they play left in college, they come to the NFL, they play right, vice versa. It's not really that big of a deal. People make that out to be like so much of a bigger deal than it actually is. But Monroe Freeling, this is somebody that is an absolutely unbelievable pass protector. He is incredible. You watch him at Georgia, they're just letting him out there on an island up against pass rushers. There's no tight ends chipping, there's no backs chipping. They just line up and he's one-on-one. And that is really, really impressive at the college level. That is impressive that they just they trust him enough to leave him on an island. It's very impressive. It's very impressive. There is the where is it? They had it in here. We're using the website, the NFL Draft Buzz. Great website. Love this website. They had the thing in here about I think he only let up like 1 or 2 sacks, which is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so here it is. Everything changed in 2025. Freeling stepped into the starting right tackle spot. Okay, so he did play right tackle in 2025 and appeared in all 13 games with 12 starts, earning second-team All-SEC honors. Despite battling an ankle injury for much of the year, he logged 747 offensive snaps, allowing 2 sacks and committing only 2 penalties. He was named SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week twice, following games against Auburn and Texas. He is unbelievable. He is unbelievable. There is one thing. He hasn't played a ton of college football. 1,600 career snaps across 37 games, but only 16 came as a starter. And then declared for the draft this year. Absolutely unbelievable physical freak. Rare combination of height, wingspan, and foot speed for his position. 5'10", 40, and 84-inch wingspan. Give him a physical toolkit most tackles simply cannot replicate. I mean, that is true. Pass blocking numbers are impressive. Only allowing 2 sacks on 390 pass blocking snaps is insane. Yep, like this. While Georgia trusted him solo on an island against quality SEC edge talent, he was out there up against SEC grown men, and he's unbelievable. You can see it. He's great run blocking too. I think his pass blocking is something that steps out a little bit more. They do run a lot of those zone concepts, the inside zone, the outside zone. He can get to the second level. He can block very well at all levels. He moves very well. There's, I think, 3 things that could be a problem. Number one, yeah, he hasn't played a lot of snaps or a lot of games in college as a starter. It's definitely a problem. Ideally, this is somebody that you would want to have develop. Ideally, Lane Johnson comes back for another year. Even if he doesn't, I think this is somebody that you could, bring in somebody else to start at tackle week 1, week 2, week 3, and then bring him in during the season. I think he would be okay coming in. There is the problem of his build. He has a very weird build for a tackle. He's 6'7", of course he is. I swear to God, every video I make, there's a 6'7" joke in here somewhere. All these guys are 6'7" that I talk about. He's 6'7", he's 315, but he is built very kind of lean. Like his shoulders are wide, but he's got like a lean build to him. I think he's probably going to have to put some more weight on in the NFL, put a little bit more strength on. Weight sits at the 49th percentile for the position, and his frame, while broad, needs 10 to 15 pounds of functional mass to hold up against NFL power players at the next level. He definitely has a weird build. I think if you put some weight on him, maybe let him develop a little bit. Maybe he has to play next season, right? If Lane Johnson steps away, I mean, Cameron Williams is interesting. I mean, guys, I'm sorry. I'm not throwing a 6th, 7th round. These goddamn 6-7 jokes. I'm not throwing a really late round rookie out there and asking him to save my team when I can go out here and get myself a Georgia, you know, good old fashioned South Carolina farm boy in the first round, right? I'm just not doing that. I think Monroe Freeling would be absolutely incredible. He's starting to get more love. This isn't the strongest lineman class, but I really like Monroe Freeling. If they can just let him cook a little bit, let him develop a little bit, I think you're looking at a legit high impact starter for the Eagles. So we're in the second round now. This is where, you know, you see a lot of the tight end talk. Here's where I'm at with tight ends. I'm just bringing Dallas. If I'm Howie Roseman, I'm just bringing Dallas Goedert back for like 2 or 3 years. I really don't like this tight end class that much, honestly, guys. I don't know much about next year's tight end class. But this one just ain't doing it for me. Very unfortunately. I like Max Clare. I think he's interesting. Michael Trigg's interesting. Maybe more of a two-way player. Eli Raridon's a good blocker. I don't know about him receiving. Oscar Delp's interesting later on, maybe. You have Eli Stowers. I would imagine he probably goes... Can I go up, please? God, this website sucks. I would imagine... Where the hell? Where's he at? I would imagine Stowers goes somewhere like in the early... second round type of it. There he is, Eli Stowers. I would imagine that. I'm not going out and I don't know if I'm paying Kyle Pitts big money or Isaiah Likely or Chigakonkwo. I just don't like this tight end class that much. I think Claire's interesting. I took him in another one. I'm not there yet on something like that. I think edge is definitely something that could be upgraded. Romello Height is somebody interesting. Denai Dennis Sutton is somebody that I absolutely love. I think he is a perfect fit for this team. 100%, absolutely. Would I take him in the second round? I'd think about it. I think he's probably more of a third round player. We'll maybe come back to that because somebody else is smacking me in the face here. I'm going to mix it up a little bit and go with somebody else if I can. I love Omar Cooper Jr. I think he's awesome. Derek Moore is somebody that I've seen mocked to the Eagles quite a bit. A lot of people like his potential. Big Citrus, somebody I really like as well. I'm not liking this second round right here for what we need. CJ Daniels is interesting. Zachariah Branch I'm not taking here. I guess I'll just... Keontae Scott's interesting. He's somebody that's interesting here, but he is more of a slot corner. Oh, man. I don't know, guys. What are we feeling right here? Not really seeing anybody that pops out to me too much. I mean, Derek Moore is somebody that I do see. Again, a lot of people like to take him 6'3", 260 edge rusher. Man, I'm not really feeling it here, guys. I'm not feeling it. I'm not taking a tight end either. I'm going to go Derek Moore. He is somebody that has a ton of athletic upside. The Eagles are going to need a little bit of an upgrade in that edge room. If Jalen Phillips leaves, you have a massive hole to fill. Because obviously Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt are your top two guys. But we saw last year, one of them gets hurt with Nolan Smith, and that edge room fell apart. It was terrible. It was a joke. It was horrible. So you run into that problem, and then, you know, you need guys to come in. You need fresh bodies to come in, and I don't think they really have that if Jalen Phillips doesn't come back. So I'm okay taking a developmental edge guy right there in the second round. Didn't really love the board right there. Not my favorite. How are we looking at receiver here? Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys another thing. I'm not leaving either of these two drafts without a receiver. Where's the other pick? It's at the end. Is this a reach? Maybe this is a reach. Maybe it is. I like Elijah Surratt. I don't think he's going to be here. I don't think CJ Daniels is here either. Zachariah Branch probably could be. This is somebody that I think is kind of interesting. That's Chris Brazzell II. Now, I hate Tennessee receivers. I hate them. Cedric Tillman sucks. Jalen Hyatt, I said was going to be garbage. He is garbage. He continues to be garbage. Look, I'm not doing it with the go ball merchants, but I don't like to helmet scout either. And I think Chris Brazzell is like maybe the only Tennessee receiver that can run more than just a go route, because Tennessee's offense, it's just like spread, throw the ball deep, right? That's pretty much their offense. I think Brazzell is probably more of a complete receiver because some of these guys, like some of these guys that Tennessee throws out there are not complete receivers. Okay. I don't know how that affects him. I think he is a great catcher. I think he has great hands. He has a very low drop rate. I don't know if I put it in here. Very low drop rate. He actually, yeah, you can see this. He understands how to manipulate coverage with subtle body movements and stem variations before exploding out of breaks. He tracks deep balls very well. I want somebody who can go deep. Okay. I want somebody going deep. And what makes him really interesting is he is a deep threat that is 6'5", 200 pounds. He is huge. And you don't see guys like this separate at a super high rate. And he can separate downfield. And he is an absolutely massive frame, or massive target downfield. 6'5" frame creates a massive catch radius that corners cannot contest, and he constantly wins at the high point with strong hands and outstanding body control. You know, I think that's something very interesting, because I'm not leaving this draft without a third receiver who can go deep. That's what I like about Omar Cooper Jr. so much. I think Zachariah Branch can do that as well. I think Chris Brazzell can do that very well. I think Surratt's probably more of your underneath receivers. Same thing with like CJ Daniels. Skylar Bell, I've been told to watch. Malachi Fields, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I've watched a lot of Malachi Fields. Definitely more of that like possession receiver. And that is not what the Eagles need as their third receiver. They need somebody like this who can go deep, who can take the top off of defense, and give Jalen Hurts somebody to throw downfield for. Now, again, you're going to see, you know, these guys, they don't really run like full routes at Tennessee, so you're going to see some of that. You're going to have to definitely be concerned about that. You're going to have to be concerned about him developing. He does have some injury concerns as well, but I do think he is somebody that could be a downfield threat. They have George Pickens on here as a comparison. I actually really like that. I don't know about Drake London. Maybe, I guess the size, and then Teteroa McMillan. I mean, no. Teteroa McMillan and Drake London are much better prospects than this, but I think this is somebody that can be the outside X, go deep, give Jalen Hurts someone to throw the ball downfield to, and I think that's what's really, really important. So we're going to take him right here. Again, you have to be concerned with Tennessee receivers, but I don't want to be a hypocrite. I hate helmet scouting. We're not going to helmet scout that time. And then you have your second pick here in the third round. How are we looking at corner? We have Will Lee here. Actually, I might talk myself into that, actually. I might have to do that. Yeah, I might talk myself into that here. I did see another mock draft. I actually made a video on it where they took Katron Allen here at the end of the third, and I thought that was a super interesting way to go right here. We have Kalen Rutledge out of Georgia Tech, somebody interesting. We're just going to go Will Lee, kind of like your prototypical, like, you know, solid mid-round corner, nothing really spectacular, 6'1", 189, you know, just like your prototypical mid-round corner. Not like 100% familiar with him, but I know he is somebody that is kind of a, God, my mind just completely turned off. I'm so sorry. He's somebody that pops up a lot in the mid-rounds, right? So we'll take Will Lee right there. I actually really like this draft. You get tackle, you get an edge rusher to develop, you get a third receiver, and you get potentially that, you know, CB2 that you need long term. I do like this one. So we're going to go ahead and hop into another one in just 1 second. There is a player that I do want to pull up also here. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we're on here for our next mock draft. I did pull up the player in the background that I wanted to talk about when we get into the second round. He should be there. So we're here again at 23. Obviously, this is a different website because PFF hates me, and you can only do one mock draft on there a day. So I know what I'm going to see, right? Kenyon Sadiq is here. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it this time. We're going to go a little bit of a... Wow, damn it. See, this is the thing that happens with the draft. I was going to go Vega Iane here. I guess we can talk about him just a little bit. Free agency will impact this. Right, teams are going to sign guards. There are teams in front of the Eagles here that do need guards. Like, I think Pittsburgh could take a guard. I think the Chargers could take one. Maybe the Cardinals. You know, yeah, there's a couple of the teams in here. Maybe, yeah, the Ravens definitely could improve the interior of their line. Vikings too. You know, there's teams in here that are going to be in the talks for a guard. Vega Iane is somebody that I do really, really like. I think he is an absolutely outstanding, solid player. I don't know if he has, like, the highest ceiling on him, but I think you're getting somebody who's a very high floor player. Reminds me a lot of Tyler Booker last year out of Alabama. Just a tough, strong player. You know, great grip strength, unbelievable anchor. His anchor is incredible when he's in pass protection. He's amazing in it. Absolutely amazing in it. Now, I do think he how do I put this? His pad level is really bad. He plays way too high. Run blocking isn't the greatest, but you know, can definitely get better in that regard. But he's a great pass blocker. He's somebody that I really like, especially, you know, even if Dickerson doesn't retire, I think there's 2 years left on his contract. I mean, what are the chances he plays that contract out and then retires? Or he plays the contract out and it's like, and the Eagles are like, you know, can we really bring him back? Is his body too worn down at that point? Does he want to keep playing football? Is he still playing at a high level? You know, we're going to have that conversation at some point, right, as we get closer to the end of that contract. So that is somebody that I would really like to target here. Caden Proctor, I really don't like at all. I'm not the biggest fan of. So is our boy here? Is Avion Terrell here? Where is he? Did he go a little bit earlier in this one? He went at 11. Okay, don't agree with that. This website, you know, I mean, both of them are different, but this one is definitely shaking some things up here. Caleb Banks at 19. Colton Hood is still here. I'm probably going to go with him. I guess this is like a little bit more of a flashy pick. I pulled up Avion Terrell. I thought he would be here. I mean, he usually is here. I do like Terrell. I'm not in love with him. Not like a player I go crazy for. I do like him. I think he can be solid. I like Colton Hood a lot. He's one of my favorite players in this draft. Really good in that cover 3, cover 4, outside zone, you know, CB2 role. I think he can be really good next to Quinyon Mitchell. I think he's just a really good player. You're seeing his draft stock go up. very unfortunate, super athletic player. You do see maybe some penalty issues in the NFL. He does get a little bit handsy, but he has really good speed. He's a really, really good player. Not the greatest in run support, but I've had this talk on here before. You don't pay corners to tackle, you pay corners to cover. And he's damn good at covering. He is somebody that I really like. This would be an outstanding corner room. If you have Quinyon Mitchell, Colton Hood, and Cooper DeJean, that is nasty right there. So we're going to do something a little bit different. Again, stuff, updates all the time. Things change. Players do this, players do that. You have scouts out looking at guys. There was this report right here. The Eagles have shown interest in Penn State's safety. I don't know if it's Zach or Zaki. I'm going to say Zaki Wheatley. Per source, he's a projected second-round pick and was a defensive MVP at the Fiesta Bowl. He was really good at the Fiesta Bowl. Was this about 2 weeks ago now? So I went back and I actually watched him after I saw this tweet. Forgot to bring him up earlier. I just didn't think about safety, particularly earlier. Zaki Wheatley, man, really, really good in coverage. Blew me away when I was watching it. Really good in coverage. Just always around the football. Breaking passes up. Sticky in coverage. Not the greatest in run support. I think this is somebody that could come in and play safety for you long term, because Mukuba is going to be your safety you would hope for the next couple of years. I think he comes back from injury. I think his future is bright. You have a lot of uncertainty outside of that. I don't want to see Marcus Epps on this team anymore. I'm done. I'm good. I was good after 2022. Can we move on? Okay, can we move on? Sidney Brown, I don't ever want to see on the field again. I think there's a good chance he gets cut this year. Maybe he sticks around to play special teams. I mean, they played Marcus Epps over him. Okay, I'm good. I've been through the Sidney Brown experience enough. I've been through the Marcus Epps experience. I'm good. Reed Blankenship is a free agent. Who knows if he's coming back? Who knows if they want to spend the money on him? Who knows what his market looks like? There's a lot of safeties in this free agency class as well. Maybe they look to upgrade in that way as well. I don't know, but I think there is certainly a ceiling on Reed Blankenship. I think he's a good player. Is he worth a big contract? Probably not. And this is coming from somebody who really likes Reed Blankenship more than the average fan. So if you can look to upgrade that safety position, this is definitely one way to do it. And this is somebody who's going to provide absolutely outstanding coverage. Very fast. He's got 4.4 speed. It's really fast, really good in zone, sticky in man coverage. Ball production jumps off the tape with 5 career picks in the hands to make difficult catches look routine. Lines up at both safety spots and rolls down to cover the slot. You do see that a lot. Plays at the line of scrimmage quite a bit. They like to play him down near the line, let him make plays on the football. Battle-tested performer who elevated his game in big moments, especially during Penn State's playoff run back in 2024. Not the best against bigger receivers. He is a little bit thin, and then he is not the best against the run, but he is a damn good cover corner or cover safety. Something that would really, really intrigue me a lot for the Eagles. They have him at 122 here. I don't agree with that. I think kind of with the state we're in the NFL, where so many teams have so many pass catchers, so many talented pass catchers on these teams. It's not, 10 years ago where you have one really good receiver, receiver 2 and 3 are fine, and then maybe you have a good tight end, and that's an elite offense, right? Teams have 2, sometimes 3 receivers. All 3 receivers do different things. They have a tight end. I don't know. Look at the Bears, right? DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and Luther Burden. 3 different players doing 3 different things at receiver, and then you have to deal with Colston Loveland coming out as a tight end as well. Cole Kmet. Like, you just have teams that have so many threats. When you have a safety like this who can cover like that, it just gives you so much more versatility. So we're going to take him here in the second round. Maybe seems like a bit of a reach, but is probably somebody who is going to rise up as this process continues on. And now we're here in the third round. So we didn't get our linemen earlier. There are some interesting players as this goes on. We have Jennings Dunker right here, and then Caleb Tiernan. I'm going to take Tiernan here. These are guys that are developmental, right? Him and Dunker are both developmental players. Again, I can't leave this draft without a lineman because, oh lord, oh lord, things could get scary, right? Things could get scary. Caleb Tiernan, 6'7", 325. You know, played every game, plays left and right tackle. Somebody that is just probably going to be like a solid tackle. I don't know if he has crazy upside like, you know, some of the other guys we've talked about in here, but can definitely be a solid mid-round draft selection right here. And, you know, that's what we're going to be looking at in this draft because we got absolutely hosed earlier. And then we enter round 3 here. Again, I'm not leaving without a receiver either. Zachariah Branch is somebody that I think can give you that deep threat as well. Very good in special teams as well. I didn't talk about that earlier. You need somebody who can play freaking returner too. I am not watching Will Shipley return a football ever again. I'm not watching Britton Covey do it. I'm not doing it. Okay? They have had complete losers returning footballs over the past couple of years. And I know Britton Covey was really good a couple of years ago. The guy's had like a neck injury every year. He's like, you can do so much better, man. You can do so much better. I think Branch gives you that. He's an electric player downfield, electric pass catcher. As a third round pick right here, I think this is absolutely incredible value. You get that third deep threat receiver who can play for you on special teams, kind of that Rashid Shaheed type of mold, where obviously he's not going to be your receiver one, but somebody who can come in, make big plays, make big catches down the field, stretch the field, you know, threaten a defense vertically. I don't think I've seen Jahan Dotson actually threaten a defense vertically outside of his, you know, one Moss catch per year, right, on a go ball where he just burns like a CB5, somebody that's on a practice squad somewhere, right? So those are the two drafts we're gonna do right here. This video is starting to run a bit long, so we'll go ahead and leave it here. What is your favorite pick? Let me know down below. I really like Monroe Freeling. He is somebody that has really stuck out to me, but let me know down below who was your favorite pick in this video. Who do you really want to see at 23? Let me know all that down below. Anyway, hit the like button for me, the sub button, the post notifications. Love you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.